The moment someone disrespects you, your body reacts before your mind has time to think. Your heart beats faster, your face grows warm, your muscles tighten, and suddenly, you feel an urgent need to respond, to defend yourself, to prove that they cannot speak to you that way, to make them feel what they just made you feel. But this is the moment that matters most. Not the insult, not their tone, not even the words they used. The moment that matters is the space between what they did and what you choose to do next. Because anyone can remain calm when they are treated well. Real strength is revealed when someone tries to provoke you and you refuse to hand them control of your mind. Welcome to The Unhurried Mind, a quiet place for ancient wisdom, thoughtful reflection, and timeless lessons for modern life. Here, we slow down, we step away from the noise, and we learn to meet life with greater clarity, dignity, and peace. Today, we are going to explore how to stay calm when someone disrespects you. Not by becoming weak, not by pretending that their behavior does not matter, but by learning how to protect your dignity without losing control of yourself. Disrespect is rarely just about words. It is often an attempt to pull you into someone else's emotional state. A person raises their voice, and they want you to raise yours. They insult you, and they want you to insult them back. They embarrass you in front of others, and they want to watch you lose control. In that moment, they are not only testing your patience, they are asking for access to your nervous system. They are asking you to surrender your calm. They are asking you to let their behavior decide your behavior. And when you react without thinking, you give them exactly what they wanted. This does not mean their actions are acceptable. It does not mean you should tolerate abuse. It means that your first responsibility is to remain the owner of your own mind. You cannot always control how people treat you, but you can control whether their disrespect becomes your self-destruction. Many people confuse calmness with weakness. They believe that if they do not respond immediately, they will look afraid. They believe that silence means defeat. They believe that the loudest person in the room has the most power. But loudness is not strength. Aggression is not confidence. And losing control is not courage. Sometimes the person shouting the loudest is the person with the least control over themselves. Calmness is different. Calmness is the ability to feel anger without becoming anger. It is the ability to recognize disrespect without allowing it to rewrite your character. It is the ability to choose your response instead of letting your emotions choose it for you. A calm person is not someone who feels nothing. A calm person may feel deeply. They may feel hurt. They may feel disappointed. They may feel anger rising inside them. But they understand something important. A feeling can be real without becoming a command. When someone disrespects you, your first response should not be words. Your first response should be a pause, a single breath, a moment of stillness. That pause may last only 2 seconds, but those 2 seconds can protect you from 2 hours of regret. Take one slow breath, relax your jaw, lower your shoulders. Do not rush to fill the silence. Let the other person sit with what they just said. Most people expect an immediate reaction. They expect anger. They expect defensiveness. They expect you to enter the fight. When you pause, you interrupt the pattern. You remind yourself that you still have a choice. You do not need to answer at the speed of your anger. You do not need to make an important decision while your body is in a state of threat. You are allowed to slow the moment down. You are allowed to say, "Give me a moment." You are allowed to say, "I am not going to respond while this conversation is disrespectful." You are allowed to breathe before you decide what this moment deserves. Disrespect hurts most when we turn another person's behavior into a statement about our worth. Someone ignores you, and you think you are unimportant. Someone mocks you, and you think you are foolish. Someone speaks down to you, and you think you are weak. But another person's behavior is not an accurate measurement of your value. People disrespect others for many reasons: insecurity, jealousy, fear, unresolved anger, a need for control, a desire to impress an audience. Sometimes people attack what makes them feel threatened. Sometimes they belittle what they secretly admire. Sometimes they simply repeat the behavior that was once used against them. This does not excuse them, but it helps you understand that their behavior may reveal more about their inner world than it reveals about you. You do not have to accept every opinion as truth. You do not have to carry every insult home. You do not have to turn a careless sentence into a permanent wound. Their words may enter the room, but you decide whether those words are allowed to live inside you. Disrespect often becomes worse when other people are watching. Someone makes a joke at your expense. They interrupt you in a meeting. They speak to you as though you are beneath them. And suddenly, you are not only dealing with the person, you are dealing with the audience. You begin to worry about how you look. You fear that silence will make others think you are weak, so you perform your anger. You become louder than necessary, harsher than necessary, more dramatic than necessary. Not because the moment requires it, but because your pride wants witnesses. Be careful. An audience can tempt you into becoming someone you do not respect. You do not need to prove your strength through a public explosion. Often, the calmest response carries the most authority. Look at the person, keep your voice steady, use fewer words, and do not explain more than necessary. You might say, "That was disrespectful," or "Do not speak to me that way," or "We can continue this conversation when you are able to speak respectfully." Then stop. Do not turn one clear boundary into a 10-minute speech. The more you explain a boundary, the more it begins to sound like a request for permission. When emotions are high, people often say too much. They explain every detail. They bring up old arguments. They attack the other person's character. They speak so quickly that they lose the meaning of their own words. But calm authority is usually simple. Clear words, a steady tone, no unnecessary cruelty. Instead of saying, "You always disrespect me, and you have never cared about how I feel, and this is exactly what you do every time," you can say, "I will not continue this conversation while you are speaking to me like that." Instead of saying, "Who do you think you are, talking to me that way?" you can say, "That tone is not acceptable." Instead of trying to win the argument, state the boundary. Then decide what you will do if the boundary is ignored. A boundary is not an attempt to control another person. It is a decision about your own behavior. You are not saying, "You must change." You are saying, "If this continues, I will leave." That is calmness with structure. That is dignity without drama. Not every disrespectful comment deserves your energy. Some people are looking for attention. Some are trying to provoke a reaction. Some are speaking from a place so immature that responding seriously only gives their behavior more importance. Wisdom means knowing what deserves an answer and what deserves distance. Ask yourself, is this person important in my life? Is this a misunderstanding that can be repaired? Is there a pattern that needs to be addressed? Will responding create clarity? Or will it only create more noise? Sometimes, the most intelligent response is no response. You do not need to chase every insult. You do not need to correct every false opinion. You do not need to defend your dignity to someone who has no interest in recognizing it. Silence can say, "I heard you, and I have decided that your behavior does not deserve access to me." Walking away is not always avoidance. Sometimes walking away is the clearest boundary available. There are conversations that can be repaired, and there are conversations that should be ended. If someone makes a mistake, listens, apologizes, and changes their behavior, there may be room for understanding. But if someone repeatedly insults you, mocks your boundaries, distorts your words, or enjoys watching you suffer, your calmness should not become endless tolerance. You do not prove your strength by staying in every harmful situation. You do not become wiser by accepting repeated humiliation. There comes a point when peace requires distance. You may need to leave the room, end the call, reduce contact, Document what happened. Speak to a manager, seek support, or remove the person from your life. Calmness does not mean remaining available to abuse. Calmness means making a clear decision without becoming consumed by revenge. You can leave without screaming. You can end a relationship without destroying the other person. You can protect yourself without becoming cruel. The Stoics understood that other people do not control our character. They may insult us, they may misunderstand us, they may try to embarrass us, but they cannot force us to become bitter, reckless, or dishonest. That decision remains ours. Your character is built in the moments when life does not treat you fairly. It is easy to be patient when no one tests your patience. It is easy to speak gently when everyone agrees with you. It is easy to appear disciplined when nothing threatens your pride. But disrespect reveals your training. It shows whether your values are real or whether they disappear the moment someone provokes you. The goal is not to feel nothing. The goal is to become so rooted in your principles that another person's lack of discipline does not destroy yours. Their behavior belongs to them. Your response belongs to you. Protect that responsibility carefully. Disrespect is more painful when it comes from someone close to you. A stranger's words may hurt for a moment, but the words of a partner, a friend, a parent, or someone you trust can remain in your mind for days. In these relationships, silence alone may not be enough. A calm conversation may be necessary. Choose a time when both people are less emotional. Describe the behavior clearly. Do not attack their entire identity. Do not say, "You are a terrible person." Say, "When you spoke to me that way, I felt disrespected." Then explain what you need. "I am willing to discuss difficult things, but I am not willing to be insulted." Pay attention to what happens next. A healthy person may feel defensive at first, but they will eventually listen. They may apologize. They may ask questions. They may make an effort to change. An unhealthy person will often mock your feelings, deny obvious behavior, or punish you for having a boundary. The response to your boundary tells you more than the original mistake. Love does not require you to accept contempt. History does not require you to tolerate humiliation. And closeness does not give anyone permission to treat you without dignity. There is one more important difference. Staying calm does not mean pretending that you are not hurt. It does not mean swallowing every emotion. It does not mean smiling while resentment grows inside you. That is not peace. That is suppression. You may remain calm in the moment and still process the emotion later. Write about what happened. Speak to someone you trust. Take a walk. Allow yourself to feel angry. Think carefully about whether a boundary was crossed. Decide what action is necessary. Calmness is not the absence of emotion. It is the ability to experience emotion without letting it drive the car. Your anger may contain information. It may be telling you that something is unfair, that a pattern has gone too far, that you have remained silent for too long. Listen to that information. But do not allow anger to choose the method. Let wisdom decide what happens next. You cannot wait until the moment of disrespect to begin learning self-control. Calmness is built before the conflict. It is built in small daily choices. Pause before answering difficult messages. Practice speaking more slowly when you feel emotional. Notice where anger appears in your body. Learn which people and situations trigger you most. Prepare simple boundary statements in advance. You can practice saying, "I am willing to talk, but not like this." That comment was unnecessary. I need some time before I respond. We can continue when this conversation is respectful. These sentences may feel uncomfortable at first. That is normal. Many people were taught only two responses to disrespect: explode, or remain silent and suffer. But there is a third response: calm firmness. You do not attack. You do not beg. You do not collapse. You stand clearly inside your own values. In moments of disrespect, your ego wants to win. It wants the perfect comeback. It wants the other person to feel embarrassed. It wants everyone nearby to recognize that you were right. But winning the moment can cost you your peace. You may say something clever and regret it later. You may humiliate the other person and create a conflict that lasts for years. You may prove that you cannot be disrespected while becoming disrespectful yourself. A better question is not, how do I win this argument? A better question is, what response will I still respect tomorrow? Sometimes that response is a clear statement. Sometimes it is a difficult conversation. Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is leaving. And sometimes it is forgiveness from a distance. Choose the response that protects your dignity, not merely your pride. The next time someone disrespects you, remember this. Their words may be loud, but they do not have to become your inner voice. Their anger may be intense, but it does not have to become your anger. Their lack of control does not require you to lose yours. Pause. Breathe. Stand upright. Speak clearly. Use fewer words. Set the boundary. And be willing to leave if the boundary is repeatedly ignored. You do not need to prove your strength by becoming aggressive. You do not need to protect your dignity by abandoning your character. The calmest person in the room is not always the weakest. Often, they are the only person who still belongs to themselves. Let others reveal who they are. And in the way you respond, reveal who you have chosen to become. Thank you for spending these quiet moments with the Unhurried Mind. If this message helped you see disrespect in a calmer and wiser way, consider subscribing to the channel. Here, we explore timeless wisdom for inner peace, emotional strength, self-respect, and a clearer life. You can also share this video with someone who may be learning how to protect their dignity without losing control of themselves. Until we meet again, slow down, breathe before you respond, protect your peace, and never allow another person's behavior to decide the kind of person you become. This is the Unhurried Mind, ancient wisdom for modern minds.